Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the ADV Orlando channel, where riding on two wheels is always an adventure. And today, the new adventure is going to be on my new 2024 KLR 650. I'll be running it through the ringer on Eagle School Road, which is like my proving grounds for every new bike that I get. So I just want to see how comfortable I am and how well the bike does on it. The tire inflation right now is a little bit low, and that was set by the dealership. And I think it's because they know I'm going to be taking it off-road. But I just want to see how sloppy or how comfortable I am with the handling on this road as well. I'm going to judge it as a total characteristic of the bike that I wanted to buy, which is, going off-road every now and then. But also doing some short paved road jaunts around town. Now, I've never thought of myself as a motorcycle snob, but I am coming from a 650 Vstrom that I bought back in 2018. That is just a fantastic bike, and it is a superior bike to this, especially on the road, because it's a V-twin, has much more power, has a much smoother engine, and a much nicer ride, and handles the twisties a whole lot better too. But it is a more street-oriented bike, so it should be that way. So you might hear me complain every now and then about the buzziness of the ride on this bike, and I'm not quite confident in the cornering yet. The jury's out on that, so I may actually come around to enjoying that once I get brave enough to corner fast enough and lean the bike really well. And to be completely fair, on this road, when I first got the Vstrom 650, I was pretty timid with that, and I wasn't very confident with it. But as I rode it on this road over and over, and I got to really knowing the feeling of the bike and the manners and how it handles, I became more confident and actually could do pretty well. So we'll see how I do today with the KLR. We'll see how I do in the future with it. The sound of my GoPro is down to 30%. That way my audio will come through clearly on this ride. But I am a bit of a purist when it comes to sound. I don't like a whole lot of talking. I don't like a whole lot of music. But I like to talk about this bike and compare it with my Vstrom, which is the closest thing that I've ever ridden. And it's going to allow me to talk about the bike and tell others what I think about it. And it's going to be nice to look back on in a couple of months and just see how I've evolved with this bike. But as for sound right now, this is much louder than what the Vstrom was. The Vstrom was a more quiet bike, which is my preference. I don't like loud bikes that much. I don't mind hearing the wind, but a good helmet can help you stop hearing the wind. Plus, earplugs can work pretty well too. And the Vstrom has a sweeter exhaust note than this. This kind of sounds like a tractor, farm equipment, rather than a fast bike or a motorcycle that we would consider to be highway worthy. But the bike itself is what it is. It's a very popular bike. It's been around for a very long time. It has a very loyal fan base, and I'm starting to see why. And I think the more I take it off-road, even greater do I understand why this is such a popular bike. Now, as I talk about this bike and maybe ding it a time or two, some people might be wondering, if you have a 650 Vstrom, why did you buy a KLR? Well, there are three major things that I look for whenever I'm looking for a motorcycle. Number one is going to be the price, the initial cost of it new or used, and how available it is. Then there's also the long-term cost. What are the service intervals? Can I do it myself, just like premium or regular gas? And if it requires a special mechanic or special shop to work on it, it's too expensive. And then number two, we're going to be looking at a very close number two. It's very close to price in my heart as to what I'm looking for in a bike, and is reliability. Reliability, I like the words bulletproof and tank when describing a motorcycle that I want to get. Riding in remote areas almost demands this. I'd read the comments also on a bike that I was looking at more than I would the channel host, because yeah, you're going to get their picture in the end of what they think of the bike, but the rest of the story is in the comments down below. Some people will say favorable things, people will say negative things. So it's really good to know the big picture of the bike that you're looking for by doing that, and YouTube is great for that. And I don't mean to be negative, but the number one arena in motorcycle deaths is off-road. So you want something, if you're going to go off-road, that's going to be pretty reliable and not dangerous. And looking for danger is not my goal whenever I ride. It's pure adventure, exploring, and that usually begins and ends at your home. You go to a place, you ride it, you videotape it, you take pictures, you sit down and have a cup of coffee or whatever as other people do. I just have a bottle of water or an energy drink and then push on. But beginning at your home and at the end at your home. No hauling to a place to ride. I just don't get that. I will ride to ATV parks to ride my 300L to sharpen my off-road skills, but it's not something I often do. And last is number 3 will be the comfort. Notice the comfort is not the number 1, but it is important. Okay, so I will sacrifice some comfort for a more reliable bike or a less expensive bike. Stress can deplete your focus, and your safety can be at risk, especially on long hauls. I like the words mile muncher when they talk about a bike I'm looking at, because mile muncher implies that you can haul a long way and it doesn't stress you out, which basically says I'm taking a bigger bite out of my ride than the ride is taking out of me. And I like that. I like the fact that you can, lay out some miles and really push on in comfort and not too stressed. Okay, that's it for the 3 things that I like. I'm going to talk about some things that are not on my list, and that is the latest and greatest. Okay, that's obvious that if it's not tried and true with the test of time, I'm somewhat skeptical. Style is not my thing. Peer pressure, sometimes I got to admit, you want to fit into a crowd, but you know what? It's not going to be the final factor in why I'm going to get a bike. Image, power and speed, street cred, those things mean nothing to me. I mean, I'm an old guy now, so it's too late for that stuff anyway. But this one might ding a few people, and some people might not like this. But national or brand loyalty in looking for a bike. That my idea of loyalty that I'm looking for is how loyal is that auto bike manufacturer being to me as far as helping me ride safely, ride reliably at a decent price. In 2018, when I entered the motorcycle world, my YouTube research led me to 2 final choices. Those 2 final choices were the KLR 650 and the Vstrom 650. So it's no surprise to me that when the chips are in the armor start to appear about this Vstrom that I love so much, I have now turned to the KLR. And I think both times I'm going to have it right. Well, it looks like my Eagle School review is complete, and it was a fairly comfortable ride, and nothing scared me. This bike is really starting to grow on me. I'm becoming more acclimated to it, and I plan to really like this bike, which I think is not going to be a hard thing to do. All I have to do is get the doohickey and the thermobob things, which are concerns. Maybe or not. With the 2024, I'd like to think it's fixed, but who knows? We'll see how it goes. But I mean, really, for right now, this reliable bike to me is becoming more fun to ride, and I think it's going to be a keeper. I hope you've enjoyed this video. That way maybe you can hit the like button, subscribe, and click on notifications to see more of my journey with the KLR 650 2024. And let me know how you feel about my commentary about what I look for in a bike, because I'm kind of curious what other people are looking for and whether I'm that much different. And I'm kind of hoping I'm kind of agreeing with the KLR crowd with the way I look at getting a bike. So this is ADV Orlando signing off, and I'll see you on the next video.